Hey, 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 what's up? It is the Ace Michael Show. I'm Ace Michaels, happy to be with you, happy to be anywhere, happy to be alive, man, because the alternative is not so cool. You want to be alive, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to do it, you might as well be alive and do it. And if you are alive, I'm talking to those of you who are alive right now, stop bitching about everything. Like, seriously? It's not that bad. It's not. Like, you can make any choice and change it anytime you want to. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? The rest of us are really fed up with hearing all that gripe shit. Anyway, that's what's up, man. Live a positive experience and share that with others. On the show tonight, our guest is Lexi Hardman, comedian extraordinaire. She's on the show tonight. Lexi, welcome to the Ace Michael Show.
Hey, how's it going? Thank you so much for having me, Ace. I'm so happy to be here.
It is my pleasure. So, Lexi, you are in the entertainment business as a comedian.
Yes,
Comedian is how they say it, right?
I am.
And tell us a little bit about what made you venture off into this crazy wilderness called yuck, 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 laugh, laugh, laugh.
Well, you'd laugh, but I literally got forced to start doing comedy. I've been into the comedy scene for a while, and one of my friends who's a comedian is like, guess who's going up tonight? I was like, oh shit, you've got to be kidding me.
Like you were supposed to guess.
I'm like,
Guess. Is it this
Eddie?
girl right here?
like, so yeah, I started off at Wise Guys, did a 3-minute skit, came up with my content on the spot. Like, I had like 15 minutes to come up with my material that I was going to be performing in front of everybody. And, I killed it. It was great. That rush of adrenaline, and I fell in love with it immediately. It was love at first first words you could say.
So, okay, so you go up the first time to do comedy. Now, you're not scared or nothing? You didn't, like, have water dripping down your leg or anything?
Oh, I think I pooped my pants a few times.
Like, seriously? Did you?
I don't want to talk about it.
Did you? No. Okay. So you didn't. That's a joke, ladies and gentlemen. She's a comedian.
It's
she's
a joke.
Gonna say jokes sometimes.
It's a joke for sure.
And you're gonna think she might be serious, but no, they're jokes. Okay. So she did not poop her pants on stage or anywhere near the stage. She might have pooped later, but not in her pants. Hello. Okay. So. Were you nervous the first time?
Yeah, it was
You
literally.
have to be nervous the first time.
I blacked out my entire set. I don't remember anything. All that adrenaline hit me so hard. I just blanked out. Like, I was.
And the alcohol, right?
I did. I had 2 shots of tequila and a Long Island I chugged in 5 minutes before I went on, and
That's why you blacked out.
Yeah, I mean, it helped.
That's funny.
I was very scared.
That's funny. So, okay, so you did it the first time. Why'd you go back?
I loved it. I really liked that sense of adrenaline, and hearing people laugh at the things I had to say. I've always been told I was like funny, but I didn't think like, oh, you can make a crowd laugh funny. Like, I can make my friends laugh, but making a crowd laugh, and it's just a really good feeling. And I mentioned actually earlier tonight that I think, being a comedian, it takes a certain level of narcissism. You have to be like, I am funny enough, smart enough, good looking enough to go up onto this stage with these bright lights in front of all these people. And you have to convince yourself that you're important enough to go up there and that you can make them laugh. And a lot of people say, they're like, oh, you're so brave and bold. How could you ever go on stage and do it? But then I also tell myself, what's the worst that can happen? I don't make anybody laugh, So it's, it's never been really an issue for me.
Well, that's called bombing. Did you bomb?
Oh, yes.
You.
I've actually taken.
Lord, yes, I done bombed.
I have bombed. My first few times I've gone up, no, I didn't bomb at all. I rocked it. But then, like, I think I just started getting too comfortable. And I was like, oh, I don't need my joke book with all my jokes in it. And I don't need my phone with my jokes on it. And, I just totally froze on stage and just basically, I was like on the brink of tears, like wanting to get the heck out of there.
Is there a place where you go to that comedy doesn't belong? Like, do you ever go to a dark place where you say, you know what, I feel terrible and I can't even write jokes about this. This is not for the public to know that I ever get this dark.
No, absolutely not. I think that, trauma is literally an ore and you can mine it into a gem.
Damn.
Yeah, I think that trauma is comedic gold. People love fucked up jokes. They love dark humor. That's just the society we live in because we've dealt with so much bullshit the past few years. You know, coronavirus. How do we get over these things and move on past it? We laugh about it. So no, I don't think that there's, I mean, maybe some things, you know, like, nah, actually there's no
So
boundaries.
there's no place
For
where
me.
you feel like that's off limits. Do not talk about, you know, my family, my youth experience, my relationship. None of that is off bounds where it comes to you getting on stage. You're going to talk about whatever you want.
Oh yeah, I talk about my own family, my own childhood experiences, you know,
That's
like my
interesting.
own sexual trauma on stage because it's funny. That's how you cope with things. At least for me, you know,
But
and
no,
it makes people laugh because it's uncomfortable.
no, I've always wanted to ask a comedian this, a real comedian. Does that really help you cope though? Like, have you found
Yeah.
like there was a thing in your past that once you talked about it on stage, you were like, oh, done with that. Check that off the list.
Yeah, no, yeah, totally. And I think that if something was like super sensitive or fresh or whatever, like, you know, maybe there's an appropriate time to talk about it, like when you deal with it in person or deal with it like with your own person, like, you know, within yourself. But yeah, no, I like it, you know, I can go on there and talk about whatever and it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I like that I can make people laugh from it. It makes me feel good about it.
Now, what about in your personal life? Like, if you can talk about anything on stage without feeling weird, does that mean that you can talk about anything in your personal life with your personal people and not feel weird?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a very open book. Like, I will tell anyone anything. I'm very, like, I have nothing to hide, you know?
Right, right
I'm
on.
just that kind of person.
That would be hard for me to be. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm like, man, I couldn't do all that. I got to have a filter of some kind.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
like
yeah.
I can't just let everybody know what's up. Like I gotta have a filter. That would be a tough one. Is there anything that's happened in the world, like you know, Russia invaded a country, go figure, COVID, all of these political things that happened. Is there anything that you said, I'm gonna write a joke about this, and then you said, nah, somebody else needs to do that joke. That's not my joke. That's not my kind of comedy.
Well, I guess there was this one thing, but I never really did make like a joke about it and perform it on stage. But I had a ex-boyfriend, right? And we asked each other to, you know, be each other's official boyfriend and girlfriend. And I picked the date 9/11. And he's like, "Why 9/11?" And I said, "So we never forget."
Try the veal, folks. Try the veal.
Oh my god.
So yeah, so everything is joke stuff. Did that get you in trouble in school? Were you a good student, or were you that kid that was
Oh.
out cleaning the erasers all the time?
Oh yeah, I was in detention all the time. I was really smart, but I was just like I was a class clown. I couldn't stop laughing in class like over the dumbest stuff. And I was always getting written up, getting in trouble, my mom being called. Thank God, you know, like it carried on into my adulthood, so I made a career out of it doing
Right.
comedy, but yeah, I was I was a little turd for sure.
So okay, so now you find yourself in the world doing comedy. You're killing it. What is the goal? I mean, I know you'd like to be famous, right? You'd like to make a living at it. But besides those things, because those are like icing on the cake things, there's a lot of
Right.
comedians who never become famous, but they might make a living.
Yeah.
What's your goal?
Well, you know, my goal really is just to spread laughter. I mean, I know that sounds really cliche and corny, but you know, spread laughter, be recognized, be like, oh, and it happened. You know, me and my boyfriend, we were out on Fremont actually, and like this guy was like, hey, you're that one chick that does comedy, and it made me feel so good. I was like, yeah, that's me.
That's nice.
You know,
That's nice.
yeah,
So now here's a question too. Like you're a grown ass woman, right? You are not a teenager. You're not a child anymore. You're grown. You're going to
Yeah.
clubs. You're making money in clubs. You're doing a living in clubs. But you have a boyfriend. Don't you kind of want to say like a husband?
yeah, no, for sure. I've actually, yeah, my lifestyle
was-
has completely changed.
I always think it's weird when like a grown person's like, "Well, this is my boyfriend Ted," and it's like, "What?" Or when Ted says, "This is my boyfriend Irma." You know?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, so yeah, my lifestyle has completely changed since I've gotten into a relationship, you know, like I was definitely a city girl, you know, one for the streets. I got streets out here in Vegas named after me, you know.
What?
I got-
That's not something you just drop into a conversation. What are you talking about? What? What
no.
streets are named after you?
No, I'm
Martin
just-
Luther King Boulevard? That's not your name.
No, I'm
What are you
just
talking
kidding.
about? Las Vegas Boulevard is not your name either. Now
It's
you got me sitting up in the middle of the night now. Now I'm not going to be able to finish a cigarette because it's going to be dangling out of my mouth as I ponder, what did she mean? What was she talking
there's like a saying, it's like, you know, a girl who goes out and parties a lot, like guys will be like, look at her, be like, oh, she's one for the streets. And you know,
Who says it? I don't think anybody said that but you right now. I don't think you've ever actually heard somebody say that.
fact check me on Twitter. Fact check me on Twitter, I swear.
You actually heard somebody say that? Was that a quote?
I
Somebody
think
said
maybe it's a generation
that?
thing.
I don't know. I deal with a lot of generations. I've never heard of that particular thing said about anybody ever. But okay, so people also want to know about you in general. So you're on Instagram, you're modeling
Yes.
as well as comedy. You
Yes.
model. You're a good looking piece of chicken, by the way, too.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate
you
that.
You photograph well.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So what are you doing with that?
Yeah, I really love, you know, modeling and being in the beauty industry as it is. Like, so I do hair and makeup professionally as well. I've worked on a few movies. I've, you know, done stuff for runways. It's all super fun and great. I love art and beauty. And I have so many creative ideas in my head. And so I was like, okay, I can do hair and makeup, but what if I got in front of the camera too and was able to create my visions in my head that I want to life? And so, yeah, and, you know, that's all been going great as well. You know, I'm just an artist, you know, and just want to put as much laughter and art out there as possible.
So let me ask you a question. This is one of my favorite questions to ask any artist that I talk to at any time, no matter what their art thing is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're in a generation now or a society now where the stupidest shit makes money.
Yeah.
You know, and some real deep shit doesn't necessarily make money. Like, we're in a world where Dance Monkey can be a #1 song, where some other deep artist is over here writing something heartfelt and pouring his lungs out. And people, I don't know. I'd rather listen to Wet Ass Pussy, to be quite honest, my dog. So, do you ever ask yourself, if the day comes when they're going to offer you enough money, will you take your clothes off for a music video? Will you sing a song or do a comedy parody that you really don't agree with necessarily, but the money is sick?
So for me, you know, I have done like nude modeling, boudoir modeling, and stuff like that. And, you know, being in a relationship too, there's also a lot of sense of respect you need to have for your partner, and like understand the boundaries, but also understand, like, you know, as an artist, if it's coming from an artist's perspective, you know, like that's not really an issue, you know, because it's art, and art isn't subjective or objective. It's just art is art, you know. So yeah, that's a hard question to answer. Just, I think it would depend, like, if myself and how I look at it, you know, if it was within the right, like, means and appropriate of, like, you know, the intention behind it. Yeah, then of course, yeah, like I would do that. I could see myself. I'm a
what
little
you're
nervous.
saying is it's not about the money, although the money would be nice, but if somebody
Absolutely.
came to you and they're like, hey, we want you to play this role on this show, you're going to play this character that you don't agree with, the character is something that you don't think glorifies you as a person, as a woman, but it's a national TV show, it's good money, so you're
Yeah.
going to play this dumb blonde on this show.
Yeah.
You're okay with that?
Yeah, of course. That's, you know, I mean, look at Johnny Depp, for example, all the different characters he's done. He's an artist. He knows how to embrace the things that are put into his face and be that for the name of art.
Okay.
And I respect that a lot, you know.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, that's good. That's a very, very, very good goal to set for yourself, to be open for, because in show business, what's interesting, is you never know what's going to work and what's not going to work. Somebody might say, hey, this is a movie. Steven Spielberg is directing it. It's a trilogy in his dinosaur series, and the first one did really well, but this one bombs, and it just bombs bad. And you think, well, gosh, everything seemed like it was going to work. The writing was good, the script was good, the other actors were great. They're all well-known actors, but this movie bombed. Why is that? By the same token, somebody could come at you with this stupid concept that you're like, oh my God, nobody's going to watch this. Are you serious? And it becomes a huge selling project.
Yeah.
So you got to go with your instincts, and it sounds like you're good with that. You're very well rounded as an artist, so you're not worried about, oh my God, what will my friends think, but you're doing it for you.
Yeah,
which is great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is great.
Thank you.
What would you like in the grand scheme of things? We look at this 10 years from now. What would you like people to have learned from you or say about you? What would you like your legacy to be as an artist?
In 10 years from now, my legacy as an artist is, wow, this girl is fucking crazy. She is all over the place. She did it all. She is well-rounded in everything. She's gone to the moon and came back down to earth. And, I want people to recognize the art that I create and putting myself out there. And, because it's not an easy thing putting yourself out there. And, just doing a lot of different kinds of things, like, and mastering a lot of different talents, So I would just like to be recognized for that, like, I really did that shit. I am that bitch, as one would say.
Right. And if they said that, then they were talking about you, they would be saying the truth. Ain't nothing but the truth and the whole truth, so help you God. That's awesome. So if we want to be a pleasant stalker now on the www, how do we find you? How do we follow you? How do we stay in touch?
Yes, you can absolutely follow me on my Instagram. It is at 333 LexiLou, LEXILOU. And that's my main source. And I also have an upcoming podcast coming up called Getting Unready with Lexi Lou, where I'll be doing the hair and makeup of some Vegas local celebrities, comedians, doing their makeup while I get to know them on a deep level and let the world get to know them as well.
Amen to that. Hey guys, that's what's up, man. Lexi Hardman on the show today. Some keen insights from a comedy mind. You thought it was going to be just jokes and yokes, but look, she put some eggs in there too. You never know with this one. She's a sharp kid. Hey, make sure you check out Lexi Hardman. All over Las Vegas is where she's going to be at doing her damn thing. And come out and support the Monday nights where we do comedy. And we make videos and whatnot. It's a lot of fun, and you won't regret it. I mean, come on. It's Monday night. What else are you the F doing? And that's what's up, man. You know what I say at the end of every show? Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Thank you.